So with Dragon Ball Super coming to an end with episode 131, at least for now, who knows what'll happen in the future, we have some unresolved plot points. So I'm going to bring a new series to the channel now called After Dragon Ball Super, where we're going to talk about some of these unresolved plot points, where they may go, what may happen, and whether or not they actually will get resolved. This is the first discussion we're going to have on this, and what I want to discuss on this video is I want to talk about the future of Ultra Instinct, because it was stated in the final moments of Dragon Ball Super episode 131 that Goku and Vegeta, while they were training, it was stated that Goku can't just use Ultra Instinct again. That, Vegeta asked him about it, and he's like, it just sort of happened. I don't know how to tap into it again. And then Vegeta says, well, I'm sure I'll surpass you someday, or something like that. He promises to go ahead and surpass him because he's always one step ahead of him. It's always been that case with Goku and Vegeta. But some folks were upset about this. Some did not like that Vegeta or that Goku could not use Ultra Instinct anymore. So we're going to talk about what this could mean. And one thing I will say is I do find it a bit silly that mastered Ultra Instinct really wasn't mastered. It's like if you go and you say I'm a master of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then when you go out there and you stop fighting, you just forget how to do it. It doesn't work that way, but maybe there's a different meaning behind it. So with me now to discuss this, let me welcome MJ from MJ TV, because we're going to have some power scaling questions that I want to get to here. So hello, MJ.
Thank you for having me. And, it's kind of funny. It reminds me of the manga, bro. The whole completed blue or, mastered blue, yet they can't even use it for that, a long amount of time because it'll, hurt their body and straighten them, break their limbs and shit. So it's kind of interesting to me that they're going this whole route. Ultra Instinct's supposed to be mastered, yet he can't tap into it on will,
Yeah, I mean, Son TJ on Twitter was like, well, maybe he mastered the Ultra Instinct technique, but not the form. And that's possible, but what's weird, because I thought the same thing, is how do you master something unconsciously? Because remember, it's, when you're in Ultra Instinct mode, you're not consciously thinking, your body's moving on its own. So this appears to be a form that Goku can only get when he's pushed beyond the brink of, his own power, which is sort of like, I guess they're trying to mirror the original Super Saiyan, that it's going to take time for him to be able to figure out how to get to it himself.
Oh, you're talking about how he had to go to Yard Draft for a while, right? And kind of mess around with the form before he could just tap into it on will.
Yeah, but see, there's a contradiction there, because remember the episode of Dragon Ball Z when Frieza throws the disc and cuts his cheek, and then he goes right back into Super Saiyan form. So it's implied that even then he knew how to do it. That whole idea of him not being able to really control it, I guess, is, I don't know if that was really the case. There's contradictions there. But that being said, with this, it seems to be a lot more black and white. Like, the dude just can't do it anymore. And so he's back to just using blue. Now, it seems pretty obvious to me, MJ, that they did this strictly to depower Goku. It's almost like they figured out, okay, this dude's too strong. If we're going to have a new threat come by, we can't just have him do this whenever he wants to. He has to be pushed to the brink of, death or maybe, extinction or whatever. So is that how you saw it? Are they trying to just make that form more special?
I kind of figured that because with the movie coming out and stuff and them pretty much teasing, the movie within the show, and they didn't specifically state it, but there was taglines, specifically from the movie that they stated in the show. And with that being said, it made me think, okay, they're probably going to depower him. It's going to be a situation where this character, I'm presuming, this is a prediction, I don't know anything, I'm just presuming that this character, this mystery formidable foe in the movie, will push Goku to that brink, like how Jiren did, and he'll probably use Ultra Instinct and then probably defeat him if they go that route. That's just me doing a prediction there, and I kind of understand that because I hate to say it, but Super Saiyan Blue, even though it's extremely powerful, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to talk down on it, Super Saiyan Blue is a form that, a lot of people can't contend with it nowadays, you know what I mean? So it's like, I can definitely see this new villain coming up. It's too much for Blue, pushes Goku to the brink, and then he uses Ultra Instinct at the end of the film. I think that's my big...
No, Blue is very powerful. I think what you just said makes a lot of sense. Blue is very powerful, no question, but Ultra Instinct, especially the mastered version, is just levels beyond that. If Goku and Jiren were to fight now, based on what we saw at the end of the episode, if Jiren and Goku rested, Jiren would destroy him. I mean, with ease. Because even when he had mastered Ultra Instinct, Jiren didn't just go down like a chump. He had to get hit a few times and rocked a few times after being worn down throughout the entire tournament. Or at least when he started to fight. So it's almost like, in blue, Goku has no chance. So Jiren may still be the strongest guy, the strongest mortal. It would make sense. Now, the power scaling question I want to get to here is, and this is going to take a little bit of thought here, is it possible that Vegeta, because he has his blue evolved form, they never once said that Vegeta could not tap into this form again. In fact, he seems to have more control over it than even Goku had of Ultra Instinct, and while he did the form, he was conscious. It wasn't unconscious movement like the Mastery of Self movement. That tells me that Vegeta may have, for at least right now, with that form, be stronger than Goku and can tap into it at will. It's like if they're fighting, Vegeta can control that form and just do it and wreck Goku, but if Goku does get, hurt or whatever and gets Ultra Instinct, then he would probably win. But I feel like evolved Vegeta, or whatever you want to call it, the blue evolution form, it's gotta be stronger than Kaioken Goku. I think it is.
Well, there's two factors, and you brought one up. The Kaioken, and then on top of that, I don't want to use this word, but I guess Zenkai or just...
I knew you were going to say that.
Zenkai or increasing. Now, let me say this real quick. The Kaioken times 20, when Vegeta used the blue evolution form, they were fighting in sync. They were a bit relative, when they were fighting Jiren. However, Vegeta powered up against Toppo. So you could probably say at that current point in time, Danny, if Vegeta was at full power with the blue evolution form and fought Goku with the Kaioken times 20, I'm pretty sure he would beat Goku with the Kaioken times 20 there. But now, it's hard to say, dude, because both of these guys got the crap kicked out of them, and then, of course, took Senzu beans, and I don't know where they're at now, bro. I mean, it's a bit hard to say, because Goku was pretty darn beat up. The dude couldn't even move anymore, supposedly, and, he was, like, struggling just to walk. So it's like, I mean, Zenkais play a huge part, and even if the Zenkais don't really affect them that much, you still gotta remember they evolve while they fight, the whole infinite potential situation. So it's hard to say, dude. I would bet money though that Vegeta probably can hold up, if not defeat Goku. I think Goku probably, with the Kaioken times 20 and his instant transmission, the teleportation is the only thing he has going for him, bro, at this point.
Yeah, if Vegeta gets the jump on him, he could beat him, and swiftly beat him, not beat him down slowly to allow Goku to tap into Ultra Instinct. It's funny because during that last confrontation with Goku and Vegeta says Saiyans have no limits, which is again a contradiction because earlier in the Universe 6 arc he tells Goku we're close to our limits. I guess he miscalculated his own body. I don't know what. I guess it could be a contradiction or just his own miscalculation, but that doesn't appear to be the case. And the thing is, going into this Dragon Ball Super 2018, film, that's a big tagline there, is that Saiyans have no limits, or they have, they're these warriors that just get stronger and stronger. Yeah. So what's going to happen when they contend with one that's on their level? And of course, we've seen it before. See, the thing is, the film is trying to kind of tell us that this is special, but we've seen it twice already. We've seen it with Turles, and we saw it with Broly. We've seen other Saiyans fight, and Vegeta really first, but, besides them in the movies, we've seen Turles, seen Broly, a few different movies. So it's not the first time that a Saiyan has been the villain, presumably speaking. But, I just feel like people are upset about Ultra Instinct not being truly mastered, and I kind of get it, because even though it was just called like perfected or mastered, I guess what they're meaning is that mastered differentiates it from the defensive mode. In other words, Goku learned how to use offensive and defensive when he had the gray hair, the silver hair, as opposed to just doing one. That's the way I perceive it versus him actually figuring out how to tap into it at will. He's not at that level yet, which means that he may not have surpassed Beerus, Has he surpassed Beerus? That's the next question,
It's kind of funny because I kind of figured what they were going to do, Danny, was that he could tap into the form at will, but he can't use it for long, so he would need to train his body and get it stronger to uphold that state of being. But now that's not the case. Now they're saying this dude can't even go into the form at all. So That's really weird. I guess maybe they just want to add that extra bit of tension for the film or for a future series.
Maybe Vegeta will get it.
That could happen because people forget this. Just because he did a video on this, just because he went his own route, he did straight up state, I went through the same training as you. I can get this. I can get Ultra Instinct. You know what I'm saying? He said that in episode 115, I believe.
When he fought Kato Pelspa or whatever his name is.
So
right?
he can do it. He straight up said it. If I wanted to, I can do it. He just went his own route. So who knows? Maybe they will go back to Whis. And I mean, I was kind of hoping the training would be over and that he would already have. But then again, it comes down to the people who were complaining that he mastered it so quickly. Like in 48 minutes, 20 minutes. So it's...
Yeah, so he really didn't master it. So at the end of the day, that argument is pretty much dead because he did not really master it.
Exactly.
For all we know, Beerus may actually have done that before and just not held on to the form. Maybe he's on the same level when it comes to experience. Maybe Beerus is more experienced than him. You know what I'm saying? But that'll be a topic for a different video. I want to hold that off for a different video. So overall, I mean, yeah, I think... I get people's complaints on this, and but I think it's more so like, yeah, they did sort of lie by saying that he mastered Ultra Instinct. Like, I get that was a bit of a lie in a way. It was marketing is what it was to differentiate the two forms. But I think we'll see Ultra Instinct again, though. I think, like you said, we'll see it in the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, everybody check out MJTV and leave a comment down below. Do you think we're going to see Ultra Instinct in the movie or when Super returns? If it does, again, this finale felt more like an arc ending than a series ending because Beerus did not go back to sleep. He's awake. It feels like there's more coming. A lot more, actually.